Welcome to another episode of Pan's Picks. It's where I go through a team's season and pick their outcomes of every game and the probability in which they'll win or lose. Join me as always is AstroTurf enthusiast, Bill. Welcome,
Hey.
Bill.
How's it going?
Pretty good. Who do we got today?
We have Detroit. Last year, they were 13-3-1 with a tie going to Pittsburgh. Last in their division. Dan Campbell's second year as head coach for the squad. They fill some much-needed holes this offseason, but is it going to be enough? The only positive I have is the potential breakout for the wide receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown. He was hot at the end of the season, but, he has a high ceiling on his sophomore year, but we'll see.
All right. And he doesn't have the worst quarterback. Jared Goff is a Super Bowl quarterback, if you want to give him that. All right, cool. Let's pull up the schedule. There it is. Week 1, hosting Philadelphia. Playoff team, Jalen Hurts, coming in for another round. Well, let's go with a 25%. Give them a 25%, hosting the Philadelphia Eagles. Week 2, against Washington, hosting Washington. It's a lot of complicated calculations going on in my mind. I'm going to give them a 50% chance to beat Washington. I think that Washington is okay, but I also don't think that Detroit is that bad. And I think they're going to pull it a little bit better together. So 50% chance. I might still take Washington in this one. Bill, what do you think?
I also had 50-50 with the edge going to Washington. I think Washington has a better defense in this one. So that's what gives me the edge.
Yeah, but it is definitely just an edge. Week 3 at Minnesota. Minnesota is, to me, one of the most troubling teams to predict, as they have a quarterback that can play really well, sometimes doesn't. They have receivers that are possibly the best receiver room in the NFL, and they're all around a great team seemingly good team that consistently misses the playoffs. They do have a new coach though, and there's a chance for them, but I think it's still. So I'm really arguing between a 0% and a 25%. I'll go with 25% though. I guess I'll give the Detroit Lions some sort of credit because Minnesota is so unpredictable to me. Week 4, Seattle. At Seattle, I'll give it a 50% chance at the Lions. Sorry. We can go with... We'll stick with 50%. But I do believe the Lions will absolutely win that game. But not 75% confident. Bill, what about you?
Yeah, I had the same thing for that one.
Yeah.
I don't think that Seattle gets off the ground in a fast fashion, so I'll give that to the Lions.
Yeah. Week 5 at New England. 25%. I think New England kind of sits in the same place as Minnesota for me. Like, they can make the playoffs. They might just go 8-9. They might go 10-7, really depending on how some of the games fall. I feel like they're good, but I'm not sure if they're that good. And so I give them a good chance of beating the Lions. Very good chance. Week 6 bye. Week 7 at Dallas. Oh, considering how much Dallas is disliked, it's hard for me to say this because I'm not a big Dallas fan, but I'm going to give them a 0% chance. I think Dallas is good. I think going into Dallas can be hard, and I don't think the Lions are that good. Even coming off the bye, they're going to come out stagnant, and the Dallas Cowboys are going to whomp them. Week 8, hosting Miami. I think Miami is good. We'll give them a 25% chance of beating Miami. Miami's good, not that good. Definitely fringe playoff team, possible wild card team. Hosting Green Bay, 0% chance. I don't think there's any way that they can beat Green Bay. At Chicago. Now that's a fun game.
Pick.
Oh, that's a hot pick. I
It is
like
a hot
that.
pick.
I
Yep.
like that. Yeah, I'm excited
Week
about
10,
this one.
Week 10 at Chicago. Detroit is plus 1.5. Detroit is awful against the run. I see Chicago keeping it on the ground for some old school football in this one. Chicago covers at home easily, 1.5 points.
Ooh. Okay. I'm going to go with, yes, a 50-50% chance, and I will agree with you that Chicago would win this game if push comes to shove, and I think they'll cover as well. Chicago does seem like the better team. They are hosting, or at least they're equal, and then they're hosting the game. It could be a windy one. We're in week 10. Could be a cold one. And Justin Fields. I mean, I'm excited about seeing him break out in certain games. You know, just all of a sudden rushing for 100, passing for 250, 300, and scoring 4 touchdowns. I think he has the capability of doing something like that. Maybe not week in, week out, but definitely against a team like the Lions. Week 11 at the New York Giants. I'm going to have to go with, I think the Giants would win this game. I'm having trouble getting below a 50%. So I'm going to stick it at 50%. Giants will win, though. And we'll move on. Hosting Buffalo on Thanksgiving. Week 12, Buffalo will win. Oh, okay. Hot pick what? What's hot about this pick?
This is a hot pick.
What's hot about this pick?
The first of the Thanksgiving sets.
Yes.
Detroit is plus 8. I don't think they have a shot at all in this game, but 8 points is a lot. And Buffalo tends to play down to some of their easier matchups.
Okay.
I'm actually going to take Detroit with the points. I don't think Buffalo wins by more than a touchdown.
Okay, Bill. That's fine. But I'm going to still give him a 0% chance of beating Buffalo. And last season, the Bills beat every single team they beat by a significant margin, well over 8 points. I think it was 12 points. I don't think they ever lost to a team by less than 12 points. Or beat a team by less than 12 points. Sorry,
but there
more
was
than 12 points. More than 12 points. Anyways, I'm also a bit of a homer, so I can't handle the Bills not beating the Lions by that much. Even though we both absolutely agree that the Bills will win this game. Okay, moving on to Week 13, Jacksonville. 50% chance. I'll give the home team the advantage. 50% chance, and I think the Detroit Lions will win this game most likely than the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Late in the season, I'm going to take Jacksonville. I have 50-50 also, but I think that Jacksonville might be able to go north and pull it off.
Ooh, okay. I mean, it is warm weather. It's an indoor stadium, so it's not like they got to go into a particularly hostile environment weather-wise, but okay. Hosting Minnesota, I'm going to stick this with a 25% chance. It would be a higher 25% chance than when they went to Minnesota, but it's not high enough to give me a 50-50. At the New York Jets, that's got to be another 50-50. I'll give it to the Jets. I think the Jets are the home team. They have a more exciting team, and I think they will pull this one off. I think by the end of the season, the Jets could really be coming into a better form, but not good enough to give me a 75% chance. At Carolina, 50-50 as well, but I will take Carolina. The Lions seem to have a relatively favorable schedule coming down to the end, so being a Lions fan, you might be excited about it. So you could really be interested. And then Week 17 against Chicago at home, 50%. It was 50% at Chicago. We remained 50% in Detroit, and I would give Detroit the nod on that one. Does the home field advantage change your pick of moving to Detroit, or do you still pick Chicago?
I'll take Chicago still.
Okay, Ford Field, not a very hostile environment. In Billy's mind, what do you all say? I wish I had a cheer button, right? Yeah. that. All right. Week 18 at Green Bay. Now, I'm going to give this a 50-50. I think Green Bay has a 50% chance of not playing. Aaron Rodgers has a 50% chance of not even playing this game, or maybe even a higher than 50% chance of not playing this game. I don't think they'll have any trouble winning the division. I don't think Minnesota can get ahead of them, so Green Bay will not try. This can give the Lions a chance at another half win here, which is very big when you're predicting Vegas odds and everything else. So now, let's compare it to the Vegas odds and also to Billy's picks. How did I do? Oh, wow, I'm still quite low on these poor Lions, but I wouldn't say outside of anything crazy. How did that round up? Were you surprised that you're 6, or are you surprised that there are 6.5, Bill?
Looking at last year, a little surprised that they would, pull out 6 wins. But they do have an easier schedule, compared to some of the other teams that we've seen in the bottom of the, the weekly picks or the daily picks that we're doing here. So, I think they can do it. I'm not going to bet this one through Vegas. I don't think that there's enough of a discrepancy to wager any money on the over-under on the Vegas odds.
Yeah. I agree that it's not really worth trying, but I also don't see them winning 7. I'm not sure I see them winning 7, so I would definitely lean lower. I don't know I don't know if they've added enough to jump them from 3 wins to 7 wins, but like you said, Jacksonville, the Jets, Carolina, Chicago twice. These are some, Seattle, Washington, these are some teams that they could reasonably beat. And even the Giants, so what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, they have a lot of 50% chance. And then even that Green Bay game, I mean, that would probably be the most annoying way to lose an under bet is you're going into week 18 with them at 6 wins and Green Bay does not play Aaron Rodgers or any of their starters. And you're like, no, I had them on the under. So I think that's a good reason to avoid it, knowing that they could come in and they could steal one from the Packers because the Packers are 13-3 and they most certainly do not need 14 to get the first overall pick or they're locked into the second or something like that. Or not pick, but first overall seed or second seed. The Lions, I'm a little confused on where they're going. I don't know what they're planning. Did they draft a quarterback? I'm not sure if they... I'm not aware if they drafted a quarterback. But Jared Goff is obviously he's very serviceable and would be a good position for bridging.
So they loaded up on 2 defensive ends and a wide receiver in the first 2 rounds.
Okay. So they're not exactly trying to work in a new quarterback in this situation. Probably not one that they would view more favorably than Jared Goff.
Yeah, it looks like they focused a lot on the defense this year.
Okay.
Which is a good start. I mean,
yes,
got to start somewhere.
Yeah. But once again, 3 wins, but you give them a favorable. I think you can easily swing up to 6 wins from 3 wins, in my opinion. But and then at the end against Green Bay, that can be a surprise win that could get them to 7. I would lean towards the under, but I'm most certainly not recommending it. But maybe you recommend it. Maybe you think that they're totally going to get the over. Maybe you think, no, Jared Goff is going to return to 2020 form, 2019, 2018 form, and he's going to pass for 4,500 yards and be in the MVP race. And they're going to win 13 games this year. I would love to see that. So if you disagree with me and Bill at a roughly 6 wins and Las Vegas, write it in the comments. Let us know. Go through it. You can pick between 0, 25%, 50%, 75%, 100% each game and run through it, the schedule, and see what you come up with. Post that in the comments as well. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.